Premier League's 6 biggest January sprees as Newcastle eyemegamoneyoverhaul. Newcastle seem poised to smash spending records in January after opening their checkbook for the first time since their £305 million Saudi-backed takeover was signed off. January is only a few days old, but the Magpies have already wrapped up the £12 million signing of Kieran Trippier. It's unlikely that Eddie Howe's side will stop there though, as they aim to boost their survival bid. With a host of other big money names lined up, Newcastle could be about to embark on a record-breaking splurge this month to try and haul themselves away from the Premier League survival dogfight. With that in mind, Mirror Football takes a look at 6 other times clubs splashed the cash in January. Join the debate. Who do you think Newcastle should sign in January after nabbing Trippier? Let us know in the comments here. Chelsea spent an eye-watering amount with Carlo Ancelotti at the helm back in January 2011. Amazingly, the Blues spent their entire £75 million outlay in a single day after keeping their powder dry right up until deadline day. And after deciding to do business at the 11th hour, the Londoners did it in style. They agreed a British record £50 million deal for Liverpool star Fernando Torres in the hopes that the Spaniard would fire them to a second consecutive Premier League title before sanctioning a £25 million move for Benfica's mercurial centre-half David Luiz. Unfortunately for Chelsea, those moves backfired. They came up short in their title bid, and they had, unwillingly, bought a dud in Torres, who endured a pretty horrific time during his 3-year stint at Stamford Bridge. Not to be outdone, the Reds also shelled out £75 million just a few years ago when they wrapped up the club record signing of defensive colossus Virgil Van Dijk. With Jurgen Klopp seeking to lay the foundations for a future title bid, Liverpool earmarked Van Dijk, who had impressed at Southampton, as the foundation to a title-winning defense. With that in mind, it's no surprise that they had to pay a premium price to prize the Dutchman away from the South Coast. It was a move that paid dividends, though. The Reds have since gone on to win the Premier League and the Champions League under Van Dijk, who has established himself as one of the top defenders in Europe. The Reds topped up their New Year's spend by agreeing a nominal deal for Scottish youngster Tony Gallagher, a deal which was, unsurprisingly, somewhat overshadowed by Van Dijk's arrival. There was clearly something in the air in January 2018, as Manchester City also shelled out mega money just after Christmas to keep their title challenge chugging along. In came central defender Aymeric Laporte for a whopping £57 million to bolster City's rearguard for the second half of the season. Pep Guardiola's side also wrapped up a £4 million deal for promising young winger Jack Harrison, who had been on the books of sister club New York City FC. Although Harrison was signed as one for the future, he struggled to make much of an impact at City before finally departing for Leeds on a permanent deal in 2021, but Laporte was a huge success. The Spanish international helped City roar to a convincing title win during his first 6 months in Manchester, before going on to become virtually evanescent the following year. While it was Liverpool who grabbed the headlines with their gargantuan move for Van Dijk, Arsenal were also big spenders back in January 2018. Like the Reds, Arsenal smashed their transfer record with a £56 million move for Borussia Dortmund ace Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. As well as spending big on Aubameyang, the Gunners also parted with £1.8 million to sign Greek defender Konstantinos Mavropanos from PAOK. Despite impressing, the Gabon international failed to fire the Londoners to a top 4 finish as Arsenal missed out on securing Champions League football. Aubameyang went on to become the club captain, but now looks destined for an Emirates exit and may not kick a ball again for the club following a very public falling out with boss Mikel Arteta this year. Chelsea's last gasp £55 million splurge on American attacker Christian Pulisic was one of the more unusual January transfers as they prepared for a future transfer ban. The Blues were slapped with a 2-window transfer ban just weeks after snapping up Pulisic. The ban, which was later reduced to just 1 window following a lengthy appeal process, left the Stamford Bridge hierarchy desperate to wrap up a last-minute deal for Pulisic due to fears of missing out on a future deal. In the grand scheme of things, it's been money well spent. The 23-year-old striker has notched 16 league goals in 63 games, although he has been ravaged by injuries over the past couple of years. It would be almost criminal if Harry Redknapp hadn't found his way onto this list, right? Redknapp's infamous wheeling and dealing cost Tottenham chief Daniel Levy a cool £45 million back in January 2009. Spurs snapped no less than 5 players during a hectic winter window, including moves for Spurs old boys Jermaine Defoe and Robbie Keane. Redknapp also splashed out £12 million on Wigan midfielder Wilson Pulisic before wrapping up a cut-price £3 million deal for Pascal Chimbonda and snapping up Chelsea goalkeeper Carlo Cudicini on a free transfer. But Tottenham's flurry of signings didn't help them clinch European football, with Redknapp's team finishing just outside the European places in 8th spot.